Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your main man, CaliboiJones. It's Motivation Monday, and welcome to the live chat with CaliboiJones. Listen, man, I just want to have just simple conversation. We're going to give it a minute for everybody to come on in the room. Like I said, I just want to have a simple conversation. Y'all join in. If you want to go live with me, y'all let me know. I will invite you to go ahead and come on live. It's been a tremendous day for me and my family. A few friends. Maybe it's been a tremendous day for you with all the things that you're going through. But we got to learn to be able to help each other in ways that we don't feel like we want to or need to. There are so many things that a lot of us go through that we keep to ourselves. Hey, what's up, Kenya? We keep a lot of things to ourselves due to we don't want people to worry. And I'm just going to start off like this right here. I've lost 3 aunts in less than 3 years. My grandmother's sister, my mom's sister, now my dad's sister. And each one of them died from cancer. How crazy is that? But in life, we go through so much. It's heavy. We got people that we don't want to worry about us. We got people that we want to love us. We got people that we don't want to talk to because of things that we've messed up with them or they messed up with us and we just don't want to forgive. And I'm going to touch on that thing called forgiveness one more time. And I'm not going to stop talking about it, but today I'm just going to touch on it. God said, in order for him to forgive you of your trespasses against somebody else, you have to first forgive those who have trespassed against you. It ain't easy for a lot of people to want to forgive, especially when that thing run deep. When that pain, that frustration run deep. When I'm talking about running deep, I'm talking about it runs so deep to your core. It runs so deep that it messes with you in your mind. Every time that, it may not be the actual person somebody talking about, but because they share the same name as somebody else that you are deeply mad at, or people use the word hate, and we ought to hate the things that God hates, not hate each other. And I was out exercising, had a great day of exercising, straight walking, did 8.3 miles. That was a good thing. But when you talk about death in your family, you talk about death that surrounds you, and so many people have died just in a matter of from March all the way now, and we're talking about over 100,000+ people just in the United States. But one of the things that when death hits, sometimes it causes us to freeze up mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Because if you don't always know that a person is sick, if you don't always know that a person is not doing well, you freeze up because it comes to you as a total shock. And when death is a shock because you didn't know that person was sick, it can rock the family. It can rock your life. And for my aunt to pass away like she did and nobody knew anything, as my sister said, she did a chat with her this time. She did a chat with us. She didn't let us know she had stage 4 cancer. And although we probably couldn't do anything physically for her, she didn't want us to worry. And that's, in a way, I have to be okay with that. A lot of us have to be okay with a lot of things that we wonder why they didn't tell us. They die, and then all of a sudden you have all these questions that will not get an answer. All you can do is guess. But I find it easier just to let God have it. I find it easier to not be so upset with them because they chose not to share something so deep. So much so that had they told us what could we have really done besides pray for them and comfort them? Because a lot of times with that type of disease, cancer sucks the life out of people, man. I watched my mom's sister, it sucked the life out of her. She went from being this healthy, plump woman to this skinny, frail of a person. And it does that to a lot of people. It just eats you up. Hello, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for joining. It's just a live chat, man. I just want to get a couple things off my chest. If you want to come on and join, hey, come on and join. If you just want to sit and listen, if you got some comments, like, comment, and share, and drop your comments in the comment box. But death is all around. There's nothing that any of us can escape. We just have to make sure that we're ready. We have to make sure we're ready regardless of who we know. Your salvation, that's all about you. As if you believe in Jesus, you believe in God and the Holy Spirit, cool. If you don't, cool. That's on you. But there was a question that was asked. What do people who don't believe in the Trinity and people who don't believe in nothing, who do y'all call on? Would it be crazy to say that when you say, oh my God, and you don't believe in God, that would be in vain for you to use that statement? How do you share what you have going on with somebody who don't believe? Because all they can offer you is wisdom of the world, which is foolish. It's not God's word. It's not God's wisdom. So if somebody offers you wisdom and they don't believe the same thing you believe, it becomes foolish because it's of the world. And God said that we can live in the world and not be a part of it. What up, Kwani? We can live in the world and not be a part of it. And a lot of people are like, how can you live in the world and not be a part of it? You don't partake in the things that are not of God. Does that mean you're not going to do it or not try to experience it because you just want to find out? Sometimes you can find out something that you should not experience, and then you be like, dang, now I wish I hadn't done it, but it's too late. You can't change it. But when death hits your family, like I said, sometimes you get a freeze, you get frozen all over your body, especially when it comes as a shock. When it's not as a shock and you've known a person is going to die because of what they've been through and you've watched them go through something, like watching my mom's sister go through the cancer of multiple myeloma, which is a blood cancer. And although she did the treatments, it didn't do anything. Did it help prolong her life? I don't think so. But watching this sweet woman that I've grown up to be close to because she was more like a big sister than she was an aunt, watch her dwindle down to nothing. It was scary. It was painful. Even today, if I hear a song that I know that she loved, whether it's by Tasha Cobb or Pastor Bishop William Murphy III, I get choked up, to the point that, I could be walking down the street, you have those memories that come back and you're talking to God. You might be having some thoughts you're thinking out loud, and then that person that passed away that meant so much to you, they jump in your head, and all of a sudden you have a hard time. You get choked up, you start crying. And it's okay to cry because you need to let that thing out. But here's the thing that we do, not just as a human race, but most definitely us as a people, black people, we don't talk. We don't open up. We don't let people know what's really going on with us, and I'm sick of it. Am I a little upset that my aunt didn't tell us that she was sick? Yeah. I have that right to be a little upset, but I have to understand her position because we don't know the mindset of a person who has cancer, a person who has AIDS, a person who has any type of disease that we do not want. It's hard. It's hard. But we have to respect their decision. Just like we want somebody to respect our decision to be with somebody they think that is not good for us, respect their decision. But I know, just like this song that's playing by my dog, Fred Hammond, God is our refuge and our salvation. And he's going to always be there. Even when we think that he's not, he's going to always be there. And we all have to go through our tests and trials. But if you have a testimony of something you've been through and you know somebody else is going through it, share it with them. You don't know what it's going to do to that person's life. We overcome by the word of our testimony. If somebody hears something that you've been through, that they're going through, it'll strengthen them. It'll give them courage. It'll give them insight. It'll give them a way out. Because God is always going to be a present help in a time of trouble. And he works through man, but a lot of times we get choked up. Because we think that, oh, if I say something, they might look at me weird. They gonna look at you weird for something else. So why not go ahead and help change somebody else's life? It's like I do my podcast, I do my interviews, but I'm hoping that it would enlighten somebody. I'm hoping that what I say and how I say it, maybe you've probably heard it before, but it's said to you in a different way than the way you heard it, and all of a sudden it clicks. And it happens because our parents can be talking to us, tell us, don't do this, you run into that wall, you'll get a knot on your head. And then somebody else that you don't know or it might be close to come and tell you the same thing, but it may be how they said it, that all of a sudden that light bulb come on. It is sad to lose a loved one, but it's also best to rejoice at the fact that they don't have to suffer anymore. They don't have to take no more chemo, or they don't have to go through no more dialysis. That thing hurt. Shout out to my boys, Ray, Brandon, and Josh Beecham. They lost their father. And they're my brothers from another mother. And I went over to see them today. They had a good conversation, man. But you can feel the quietness and the intensity wasn't high, but just the fact that it was like their whole world has been shattered. And we all go through those things. But we have to be able to comfort each other in a time of grief, whatever the pain is of maybe loss of job, loss of house, lost a child. And sometimes, I was with my homegirls today. It was talking about when people say sorry for your loss, but if they be in Jesus, they're not lost. They're just resting in him. No more pain, no more sorrow, no more crying, no more paying a bill, no none of that. They're not lost. And we understand why people say sorry for your loss, but at the same time, it's best to say my condolences to you. Because when somebody passes, you don't always know what to say to that person. And that person doesn't always know how to respond, no matter how many deaths you've gone through. Each death of a friend or family member has a different effect on you. It takes a different toll on you. So when you're going through something and you know you have something that you can share that's on the inside of you, let somebody in, help somebody else out. Pass that knowledge and that peace of mind on to somebody else. What up, Jap? Pass it on to somebody else. When you help somebody else go through their emotions, you get some healing on the inside of you that you've been waiting for and you didn't know that it was coming, but that's God working. So we can't be scared to step out on faith. We can't be scared to give people an insight of what God has done for them. I can share with you on this one. A friend of mine is getting ready to move. I broke down. Because when you close to people, it ain't just death that'll have you breaking down. Sometimes just people moving away. Because that relationship you have with them is good, it's tight, it's a bond that you don't ever want to break. Now, though the bond may not break, she may not be here physically, but still, that rocked my world yesterday. So all the stuff that has happened within a 24-hour period has shook me up. But look, I'm steady right here. I'm still standing. Because Jesus is my rock. Regardless of whatever you see me do, whatever I go through, I know where my help comes from. So I can get on here and I can testify. I can tell you what I've been through. I can tell you what hurts me. I can tell you what makes me sad. But it's not to make you sad. It's not to bring you down to my level, but to receive any encouragement that you may have. Because I do a lot of encouragement for other people, but sometimes it's hard for that same encouragement to come back to me. Because people don't know what to say all the time. And if you don't know what to say, just tell a person that you love them and that you're praying for them. You know what I'm saying? If you said those things right there, that I love you and I'm praying for you, you don't need to say nothing else. Because prayer has no limit. It has no distance of how far it can go. It can go beyond the moon and the stars. Because if we pray and God is not here on earth with us, like physically we can see him, but we can't see him because we're made in his image, and that prayer reaches wherever he is in heaven, pray. Some people don't want to pray. Some people have a hard time praying. They don't know. The same way I'm talking to you, this is for people who say, I don't know how to pray. The same way you have a conversation with anybody that you know, a perfect stranger, or just somebody like me. That's how you can talk to God. That's prayer. Yeah, we close our eyes, we may lift our hands, or we get down on our knees and we pray. But when it comes to praying, just make sure you understand that prayer changes things, but guess what? It's going to change you first. God going to always take care of us. Even when we do wrong, he's always looking out for us, because you might have done something wrong for the last 10 years, the last 20 years, and you didn't think the thing that you were dreaming of or the thing that you wanted to do was going to ever happen. But the thing is, it just was delayed because we weren't on the right track. And I say to a lot of people, as I do when I'm doing encouragement, your struggle is somebody else's upcoming. It's somebody else's strength. Your happiness for somebody else who is sad. Your joy, the joy that you have on the inside that the world didn't give. Y'all know the song, and the world can't take it away. Share that. The light that you have on the inside of you, share that. It's important that we help one another. It's important that we share. You don't have to be so detailed about what you're going through, but at least allow us, or allow people who care about you to get a better understanding. So if something did happen to you, God forbid something happened to you before it's time, but you're able to go through that motion and the emotions of what could have and may have happened to you. And I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to talk about this BLM, Black Lives Matter. So I was having a conversation with this very special friend who is moving away. And she said something profound last night, that I was talking to my father. He lives out in California. And I thank you. She know who she is. Thank you for that. Black Lives Matter. It has a different meaning for everybody. And in order for Black Lives to matter, it's got to matter to black people. We can't keep killing each other and then expect justice to come in for us as a people from the police, who are dang sure killing us left and right. We can't, all the marches, all the protests, all the only Black Lives Matter right now, all lives matter. It cannot matter until we stop killing each other. Thank y'all for joining. This is CaliboiJones Chat. This is just a live chat. I just want to get some things off my chest. Thank y'all for joining. Like, comment, and share. If you want to come on and join and have a conversation with me, man, you're more than welcome. I'm not going to be before y'all long. But either way, when it comes to Black Lives Matter, we as a people have to love each other enough to say we got to stop killing each other. All we're doing is helping their cause. Those who don't like us, those who are afraid of our skin, to say that they're intimidated or in fear of a person who looks like us. But yet we're still human, but we're human. We put our pants on one leg at a time. Some people might lay on their bed and try to hurry and put two legs in at the same time. Listen, man, we have to care enough about ourselves and about our own community in order for Black lives to matter. Now, we can have that debate all day long, but that thing, it did something to me last night. And then after talking to my dad and him saying the same thing, like, he asked me, what does BLM stand for you? What does it mean to you? And honestly, I reverted back to what I was talking to, or what I heard last night. It cannot matter to anybody else if it don't matter to us first. We got to stop killing each other. These senseless deaths that are going around the whole country, the whole world, but right here in our own backyard in Orlando, Kissimmee, Winter Park, Winter Garden, Ocoee, Apopka, Altamont Springs, my God, we got to stop. Orlando, I don't know what y'all thinking, man. We cannot become the top city in the country that's killing each other. New York, they don't slow down. Chicago ain't slowed down. We got to slow down and think. My grandfather said this so many times to my mother that I repeat it over and over again. You got to think before you speak and think before you act. Why do you have to think before you speak? Because you're going to say something that you cannot take back. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You're going to say something out your mouth that you cannot take back. Especially if it's something that's going to hurt somebody's feelings, kill their dreams, kill their spirit. You have to be careful what you say to people, because those same words come back to you in return. When they say karma is a blah. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Be careful and think before you act. Why do we need to think before we act? Because once you start the action of that thing that you want to do to somebody, you can't take it back. Whether you run somebody over with a car, whether you hit them with a bat, whether you shoot at them with a gun, like all these videos that are live or pre-recorded and sent out of black people killing each other, police killing us, you know, us, well, I ain't gonna say us, because you don't really see a lot of black people. And I understand we say Black Lives Matter on this point right here, because you don't see black people going around killing cops or killing white people like that. It's always seemed like it's happened to us. But we still have to start at home. We still have to start with it ourselves. And this goes out to my brothers. A lot of us have kids. We got to take time with our boys. We got to take time with our girls too. And we have to take time with our children to invest in them, invest in knowledge. Like if the police pull you over, hands up. I know it's simple to say, well, they still shoot us anyway. Hands up. Don't give them a reason. Close your mouth. This is that think before you speak and think before you act. Close your mouth. Do whatever they tell you to do. Somebody gonna be there recording some kind of way. They got body cams on. If they turn the body cams off, they gonna be questioned about that. And we know the law is not set up to help us, so we have to learn to help ourselves. We can help ourselves by just being peaceful. Call on the name of Jesus. Do the right thing. Give them your license. Give them your insurance, your registration. If they say you need to step out of the car, hey, call a sergeant down here. Call for your supervisor down here. Now, we know you don't have to get out of the car when it comes to that. Hey, I'm requesting for your supervisor to come down here. A lot of people don't know that. But it's just important for us to just work together. This whole live chat with me tonight was one, just to get things off my chest and to invite y'all to give y'all a good word. Hopefully it encourages you. Just stay in prayer, stay uplifted, and keep moving. The road to success, no matter what your success is always under construction. It's always going to be something that's going to come and try to push you out. But you have to withstand the wiles of the devil, because the enemy comes not but to kill, steal, and destroy, and to sift us as we are wheat. Weed are not all the weak ones, the ones who are distracted, the ones who don't know what they want to do, the ones who are easily beset. If you got good friends around you that can hold you accountable for your actions, hold you accountable for who you are as a father, as a mother, man, them the right people to keep in your life. Them the right people to keep in your life. And you want to keep them in your life. Some of us call people friends and we know they don't have no good intentions for us. They don't mean us no good. Every time they come around, they either want to smoke, get high, they want to go fight somebody. And like, if you 30, 35, 40, and you still out here trying to fight somebody with your old self, you might not be old, but you too old to be out here fighting anybody. If you're not fighting to defend yourself, why are you going to jump on somebody? That's what I don't understand. And how you going to be hating on somebody else? And I said how you going to be. How you going to be hating on somebody for doing something that they want to do, that you want to do too, but you too scary. You don't walk in faith. You don't believe that you can do it. You think it's too hard or it take too long. Come on. Everything that you want to do in life is going to take some time. Unless God already had it orchestrated for you started doing it in 6 months, bam, that 7th month, beginning of that 7th month, is going to happen. But you have to walk by faith. You got to see that thing out. If you keep seeing it, if you keep visualizing, you keep thinking about it, and you get around the right people who are like-minded like you, things start to happen. Things start to come together. What do you do when you have people in your life that don't want none out of life? Okay, just like Abraham, God told Abraham, get away from thy kinfolk and go where I tell you to go. You have to get away from people, and you can love them all day long, but you got to love them at a distance. You got to love them at a distance because they're going to cause you to be so off track, and you're going to try to figure out, man, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Our thought pattern, how you think, going down this line. Now, if you got a tunnel vision of where you're trying to go in life, the last thing you worried about is what's over here to the right and what's over here to the left. Here's a simple case right here, and I'm going to take it right back to the word. The storm arose, and the disciples were on the ship, and they kept waking Jesus up. They say, Jesus, wake up. Care us not that we perish. The storm was all over the place. And he stood up and said, peace be still. What happened? Everything. Because he spoke. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, and those that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So we got to speak life. We got to call those things that are not as though they were. When Jesus was walking on that water and he called Peter to him, he said, Lord, if that be you, bid me to come. And they were already fearing and trembling because they thought it was a ghost. And even when they saw it was Jesus, they still thought it was a ghost. And when Peter said, Peter, one of my favorite folks in the Bible, I'm going to tell you that right now because he was off the chain. But he also said to Jesus, Lord, if it be you, bid me to come. And Jesus said one word, come. Now, as long as your eyes is on the prize, as long as your eyes is on your goal, you have not too many times that you will be distracted, but you're going to have some. Peter was walking towards Jesus, and as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, he didn't have to worry about nothing else. It was when he took his eyes off, and that happens to us every single day. Every single day that happens to us. We take our eyes off of Jesus and we start to sink. We start to go down just like Peter did. And he said, ye of little faith. I'm standing right here before you and you still looked around. You have the one who created this whole world, this whole life that you have, this whole existence. And you're worried about the things that's on the side. You're worried about them talking about you. You're worried about you not being able to get this car. You're worried about how you're going to pay this bill. Well, he said, I will provide everything for you. But you got to trust in him. You got to walk that thing out. You got to walk that thing out. It's hard because your flesh starts talking about it. You got to remember, when you get saved, this right here, as my bishop would say, this right here, this flesh, it ain't going to never be saved. It's that spirit, man, and you got to feed that spirit, man, every single day with prayer, with the word. Even if you don't go to church like you want to, there are many ministers and pastors that are online right now. She say, I'm Peter's little sister. There are many people who are online right now. You can YouTube it, Google them, to get that daily word. I'm going to suggest a couple of them to you right now. One of my newer and favorite ones is Pastor Mike Todd in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Awesome, amazing guy. He got a series, so many different series right now. They're so amazing. It'll help change your life tremendously. Of course, Bishop Jakes, my all-time favorite. The bishop of all bishops. Creflo Dollar. Joyce Meyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about people who they really are into bringing you to the light, helping you change your life. Now, you may not agree with everything they say, but God is going to always talk to you. He going to send the right word to you. Because me talking to you right now, it might be sending the right. You might have been thinking about it like, man, I need to change something. Joseph Prince. Dr. Charles Stanley. Yes. Right in Atlanta. There are so many. Dr. Fred Price out in L.A. And then you have your local pastors. And I can go back and I remember the conversations with people like, man, all the pastor want is your money. If you know the word, the pastor don't want your money. But you do understand that just like a house that you have to pay rent and lights and water, Same thing go for a church. It ain't free. Now, do they get some accommodations from the government? Yes, they do, but it still ain't free. So when you think that your tithing and your offering is going in the pastor's pocket, they also take a salary. A lot of people, they just get frustrated because they think because the pastor, like, there are some pastors who already had their own business and had it for years before they became a pastor. And they think because the church is paying tithes and offering that, oh, they taking the church money and buying a new car. If they already was driving a Mercedes-Benz, what make you think that they got another Mercedes-Benz with the church money if they have their own business? We got to think. See, that's the trick of the enemy, to get you to think that the man of God is taking the money of the church. Now, I'm not going to tell you. Remember, we still, no matter how much of a man that is a man of God that's standing up there before you preaching the word, he's still a man. So there are going to be points of temptation. Just because you get saved don't mean you ain't tempted no more. He going to have points of temptation. He going to have points of being distracted. He going to have points of people trying to take him out. He going to have people talking bad about him even if he ain't doing wrong. Here's what's most important. That dash. The year that you were born and the year that you died is not the most important thing that people care about or remember as much as that dash. Because that dash represents every single thing that you did, that you thought of, that you wanted to do, that you dreamed of doing. That dash represents what kind of effect that you leave on the world. That dash represents who you were as a person, with your integrity, with your character, with your beliefs, with your smile, with your gifts and your talents. A lot of people don't know what their gift and talent is. Whatever the thing that you do the best, and I'm talking about the best, and it does not seem like work. You don't get tired of it. You enjoy it to the point that you eat, sleep, and breathe this thing. Might be your gift and your talent. Maybe being a mother. I got a friend, she got 5 kids, and I say she the baddest mother I ever seen, next to my mama. And I know it's plenty of them out there, but I'm just talking about what I've seen, period. Persons that I know. 5 kids. They don't go without eating. They don't go without having nice clothes. They don't go without having a roof over their head. She off the chain. And a couple of them are. But it's the point of having a strong family knit. And I'm going to end it with this one. Family and blood. God started with the family first. Before he started with a church, he started with the family. Before he started with the church, he started with the family. If you don't believe me, go to the book of Genesis, the first book of the Bible. He started with a family before he started with a church. He didn't start with no church. But people understand, the church is the people, not a building. The building is just where we go and worship. The building is just where we go to get fed. Iron sharpened iron. Shout out to my boy One Dog. Iron sharpened than iron. You have to take the time to understand and read that everything that you think is wrong, if you stop to think and ask questions, God will reveal himself. He will reveal the answers to you. If you have a conviction and you think that the conviction that hits you about a certain being could be wrong, could be off, could be right, could be this, that, and the other. When you have that convicted heart about a thing, 9 times out of 10, really 10 out of 10, that be God trying to lead you to go the opposite way. Try to lead you to go the opposite way because he's telling you that that's not the way you need to go. I remember when I used to go, I love you too, sis. I remember when I used to go to the club, and I never was a club person. Never was a club person. And every time I went, I always had this eerie feeling that hit me. And that always meant this, God telling me, you ain't supposed to be here. All these shootings that happened at the club, all these fights that happened at the club. But guess what? Even though I kept going a little while longer, he kept me protected. He kept me protected. With the people I was with, the people that I was around, he kept me protected. So when you think about being protected, that comes from a family. I had a praying grandmother, a praying great-grandmother, a praying auntie, and a praying mother. See, I wasn't raised by no man. I was raised by 4 women. 4. And I had to learn how to be a man a lot on my own and watching other men that were around, whether in my church or my uncles or anybody else that was doing the right thing. Again, that does not excuse the fact that even if you see them doing the right thing, that you're going to automatically do the right thing. But because that seed was planted, you're going to, later on down the line, you're going to want to do the right thing. You're going to want to do the right thing because it's going to sit so hard on your chest that God's saying, listen, son, daughter, I've already prepared something for you. Remember, nobody can stop you from getting your blessing but you. Nobody can stop you from having the things you want out of life but you. God started with a family first before he started with a church. And when I say blood, blood is thicker than water, is thicker than oil. Because that same blood that you came from, that lineage that you came from, y'all got to stick together. We got to stick together. We got to pray together. We got to talk to each other. It's good to have friends, but I'm going to tell you what's sad about not having a good family or coming out of a family that you don't feel welcome or you feel like they're always trying you or they don't support you. And the family that you end up putting together be the family that you weren't born into. Because we can't pick and choose the family we come from, but we can pick and choose how we're going to be treated. We can pick and choose whether we want to put up with that BS or not. And we can choose whether we're going to treat them right even if they treat us wrong. Because, see, forgiveness, again, is not for the other person. It's for you. And to forgive is 70 times 70 per day. Per day. So take the time to love on yourself first, respect yourself, and love on those around you. And if they don't want to love on you, okay, love them from a distance, pray for them, keep on moving. We cannot escape death. We cannot, disown our family. Even if we say, I don't do them no more, that's always going to be your family because that's where you came from. And that's what people know about you. But know this too, God knows exactly what you need. He knows exactly where you need to go. And that goes for all of us. We all want to try to do our own thing, but understand that God has already worked that thing out for your good. Romans 8:28. But in Matthew 6:33, it says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all these things, your desires, he will make happen for you. He will make happen. That you have the desire to be the best mom. Okay, he gonna make that happen, but we gotta seek his face. I'm only 40. I'll be 41 next month. And although I was raised in the church and I kind of got out of it and I came back, it says when you train a child up in the right way, when they get old, they won't depart. So even if they do depart because that seed was planted, you come right back to it. Now, if you try to deny, you can deny it all you want to. But Jesus said, if you deny me before man, I'm going to deny you before my Father in heaven. Woo! Woo, woo! He said, if you deny me in front of man, like he told you to go speak to somebody and share something with them. Nah, Jesus, I ain't doing that. I don't know them. And even now today, because of the coronavirus, if he can protect a whole family on an ark, what make you think he can't protect you from a disease that it ain't here for you in the first place? It ain't your time to go. So, y'all like, comment, and share. I'm getting ready to close out. Thank y'all for the ones who have joined. I appreciate y'all for getting on. It's just a Motivation Monday and a live chat conversation with CaliboiJones, man. Thank y'all. And don't forget to check out MSN Podcast. We had some technical difficulties and some issues that happened due to family this week. But however the case may be, we will be rocking to have new episode up for y'all. That's MSN Podcast. Man, y'all go like, comment, and share on Facebook, MSN Podcast. Motivate, strengthen, and network. Antonio King featuring him and Diddy Coffee out of Jacksonville, Florida. Got to give a shout out to them because, one, they brought me on. Antonio King, man, that dude right there, if you don't know who that is, Antonio King Ali. Look him up on Facebook. Look him up on Instagram. The man is amazing. Diddy Coffee out in Jacksonville, Florida. Listen, it's amazing what God is doing right now, bringing me into the thing that I love to do. Doing this podcast stuff is paying off. I'm not telling you to start one, but I'm telling you, me doing this is just my testimony. Doing the podcast thing is taking off, and I'm gonna always share this. I told God, I said I want to do that. And people kept asking me about the voice, and I was like, man, ain't no radio, but if you know somebody, hey, hook a brother up. I don't mind doing the work, and I've been doing the work for the last 4 years. Now, does that mean that it could have happened any sooner if that's what God wanted? And I'm excited just for where I'm at right now because it's going to only get better from here. So you cannot give up on your dreams just because you might be 35, 40. Hell, listen, my girl Andresia Baker said she didn't really know what she wanted to do till she was 38 or 39. Come on, man. Sometimes the thing that you want to do the most, it may not come to you to a certain age because that's where God is going to transition you to make a difference in somebody else's life and also the world. So, blood is thicker than water. Understand that you cannot disown your family. You just can't. Family is so important. Now, if you created your own family due to the fact that the family that you came from, cool. That means y'all have an understanding of what y'all doing. Y'all understand what you're building. God is amazing. And this Motivation Monday, I'm so happy that y'all got on here. Thank y'all for the hearts and the likes. Thank y'all for y'all comments. Like I say, like, comment, and share. Invite somebody the next time. I think every Monday I'll be here. Whether I have a guest or not, every Monday I'm going to be here. But if you also know somebody who has a business, who is doing something great in the community, man, tag them down here. Let me get them on the show. And we're going to work that thing out because God is doing some amazing things. No matter what, I love y'all. There's nothing you can do about it. As long as you have faith, commitment, and love, anything is possible. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Trust the process and stop tripping. Because all it takes is one touch from God for you to be made whole, for your whole life to change, for your family to change, for your children's life to change. All we need is one word and one touch from God. That's all I got for y'all right now. I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So stay tuned for tomorrow's Talk About It Tuesday. I'll have that inspiration for y'all in the morning. But however the case may be, love yourself and love others. Peace.